F, announcement of actions taken in closed session, no actions taken. And we are back at, what time is it? 6:05. And G, presentations. Number 1, dual elementary school presentation. Mr. Jimenez.
Thank you, President Magallanes. It is my privilege and honor this evening to present to the school board and to our Calexico community our monthly school presentation. And today we're honored by the presence of the dual elementary school community, which includes our fearless leader, Mr. Silvano Lopez, our teachers, certificated staff and classified staff, our parents, and also our students are here tonight representing their beautiful school and school community at Dual Elementary. So without further ado, I'll hand it over to Mr. Lopez, and he will get us started here.
Good evening, President Magallanes, board members, Mr. Jimenez, parents, staff, and students. My name is Silvano Lopez, and I am the principal of the best elementary in Calexico, Dual Elementary. My team and I are here tonight to show all of the great things, or to show off all of the great things that we are doing at Dual. I would like to start by giving out some data from our iReady ELA math, iReady ELA reading, and some reclassification rates for our EL students. And then after that, I will go into some school goals that we have established for the next 3 years to try to support our students. So student achievement scores, how are we doing at our school site? So for kinder through second grade, we don't do the SBACs, which are the state tests. So we focus on the iReady scores, the program that we use to monitor students for ELA and for math. And fall of last year to spring of last year, our kindergarten students were 3% started off in the fall. 3% of our students were at grade level in kinder. By the end of kinder last year, they were up to 47% of them were up to grade level. 97% were down 1 grade level below, but by the end of the year, they had moved up, and we had dropped that number down to 53%. This year, the students that entered kinder, 4% of them are at grade level, and 96% of them are 1 grade level below. And we are currently taking the iReady tests right now in the middle of the year because we need to see how many we can reclassify, and those are the scores that we use for reclassification. For first grade, it's the same process. Last year, we had 3% of the students start off the first grade in at grade level, and then we had 61% of the students 1 grade level below, and 36% there were 2 grade level below. By the end of last year in first grade, we had dropped the 2 grade level belows from 36 down to 8%. And we had increased the 1 grade level below to 68. And we increased our at grade level from 3% to 24%. We are currently in first grade. Entering on our first test is 3% of all first graders right now are at grade level, 48% are 1 grade level below, and 49% are 2 grade level belows. In second grade, the same process. Students in second grade last year started at 2% at grade level, 18% 1 grade level below, and 80% of the students were 2 grade level belows. By the end of last year, the second graders, we had dropped the number from 80% down to 42%. We had increased the 1 grade level below from 18 to 42, and we increased the at grade level from 2% to 17%. We are currently in our second graders at 5% at grade level, 24% are 1 grade level below, and 71% are at 2 grade level below. So as we move through the year and teaching the lessons, we are able to increase the students and move them up the different bands. And that's using the iReady program.
And if I could interject here really quick, because this is going to be the pattern, board members, that you're going to see throughout the rest of the ELA and math and for the upper grades as well. But what we want to see in this data right here is a decrease in the reds, right? Because when we're decreasing from 36 to 8%, we're showing that we're having fewer kids that are 2 grade levels below their grade level. And then you see those kids moving up to either being at 1 grade level below, or maybe even also at grade level. So that's where you see that for the spring semester, you'll see a higher, you'll see the lower number for 2 grade levels below, a higher number for 1 grade level below, and a higher number for at grade level, because the kids are pushing up. And that's exactly the data that we want to see when we're looking at our student achievement numbers. And that's a direct reflection of what the school, the teachers, the classified staff, the parents, the students are doing in the classroom to close that achievement gap and raise our grades up, and our student performance up. So this is exactly the type of real life data that we're looking at in real time at the beginning of the year and at the end of the year, and then making those comparisons.
We're gonna move on to iReady Math for kinder through 2nd grade. And it's the same concept. You can see that kinder started at 6% at grade level, 94% were 1 grade level below, and nobody was below 2 grade levels. By the end of last year, kindergartens in math had moved from 6% to 32, and from 94 had decreased to 68. We are currently at 2% grade level and 98% 1 grade level below. And these are our kinder students this year. Last year's first graders in math, they went in with 0% in the fall, and they ended up with 13% of the students being at grade level. 52% 1 grade level below. We moved them up to 81% of the first graders were 1 grade level below. And if you look at the red 2 grade level belows, we went from 48% of the students being 2 grade level belows to 7% of the students being 2 grade level below. Just like Mr. Jimenez mentioned, we want to make sure that we close that achievement gap. Some of these students actually moved from the red to the green. Okay, so it's a balancing. 2nd grade, we started off with math last year at 0% at grade level, and we finished the year with 4% at grade level. 21% of the 2nd graders were 1 grade level below. They ended up the year with 58% of the students being 1 grade level below, and from 79% being 2 grade level belows, we moved them down to 37%. This year, our 2nd graders entered 2nd grade 0% at grade level, 23% in 1 grade level below, and 77% 2 grade level belows. And I know that the 0, when they go in, you're like, but they should know something. But they're being assessed in 2nd grade standards. So the students know 1st grade standards. So they are the ones that can master the 1st grade standards, but the test that they're giving in September, it has 2nd grade standards, and we haven't taught them. We taught them for about 2-3 weeks before they started the tests. So that's why the low number in the green shows right now in the beginning. We're going to the SBAC scores for ELA, English Language Arts. Last year, our 3rd graders exceeded and met. It was a total of 11.71% of our students in 3rd grade exceeded or met the standards for the state of California. 11.70 and 76% did not meet. So our baseline for the 3rd graders last year is at 11.71. If you look at 4th grade for ELA, in 2022, those 4th graders were in 3rd grade, and the way they scored in 3rd grade was a 2.70 exceeded and a 4.5 met, which gave them in 2022, this year's 4th graders in 2022, when they were 3rd graders, they had a 6.75% met or exceeded rate. And last year, when they took the test, now as 4th graders, that same cohort or that same group went up to 12.90%. So that cohort grew 6.15. So what I try to do is track the students when they were in 3rd grade, this is how they did, and that same cohort, when they moved to 4th, how did they do in 4th grade? And so that's the comparison that we're doing. Give or take, we do have some students that are new to the site, that left the site, but for the most part, 75 to 80% of the students are the exact same students that I'm comparing. Moving on to fifth grade ELA, the same concept when they were in, and the reason why there's no scores for 2021 and 2020 is because of pandemic and the scores were not validated and stuff like that. So I only have the comparisons for the last 2 years. In fifth grade, fifth graders, when they were fourth grade in 2022, they had a met or exceeded rate of 12.35. And last year, when they were fifth graders, they had a total met of 11.58, which is around 0.70. We didn't grow. We lost 0.77%, which is about 2 students that didn't meet to meet the threshold. In sixth grade, when they were fifth graders, our last year's sixth graders, when they were in fifth grade, they scored at a 17.65% in fifth grade, and then they decreased to 15.15, which is they declined a negative 2.5. And I do want to mention that our fifth graders and our sixth graders, those are the students that missed during the pandemic, those crucial years in first, second, and third. And so they missed a lot of the foundational skills because it was very hard to be sitting in front of the computer, and the teaching was very difficult. So that is the group, those fifth graders and sixth graders, that is the group that was impacted a lot when the pandemic hit. In math, SBAC, the same process. You can see last year's third grade, they met or exceeded, 12% of the students met or exceeded. That's their baseline. So when they take it this year, we'll see how much they grew as fourth graders. Our fourth graders, when they were third graders, they had a 4.94 met or exceeded rate, and they grew last year as fourth graders to 11.58, giving them a growth of 6.64%. So let's see how they do now when they become fifth graders this year. Fifth grade, again, they have a total met or exceeded of 8.05 2 years ago. And last year, the fifth graders score at a 4.16%, which is a decline of negative 3.89% growth. In sixth grade, we have a total met and exceeded 2 years ago at a 5.69, and last year as sixth graders, they had a gain of 9.90, which gives them a total growth of 4.21%. Any questions on this information? So we're hoping that this year we can see the trend go up as we start taking the SBAC testing.
Are you doing anything different to make sure that we alleviate and make more gains? Did you look at this and say we're going to do the following?
What we're presenting right now, it'll show you everything that we're restructuring to try to help these scores. Anything else?
Yeah, just one quick recommendation. Try not using red, because for us to do budgets and accounting, red is not a good color to have on the.
Those are the colors that the state gives us. So we use the, but no, thank you. They said to click in. So we're going to start with, can we go back one? Let's see. Oh. You're clicking it or I'm clicking it? Okay. Oh, it's jumping one. Well, our next slide will be the English learners reclassification rate. And this is, we're tracking the students that are EL students to see how many we can reclassify to become English proficient. And therefore, it benefits them when they go to the junior high because they don't have to take any remedial classes to support them in the English language. So in 2021, 2022, which is 2 years ago, we reclassified 20 students out of 403 students, which gave us a reclassification rate of 4.96. Last year, we reclassified a total of 37 students, which from the 498 students that we had that were ELs, and that gave us a reclassification rate of 7.43%. And this year, our goal is to reclassify all 76 EL students that are in level 3s and the 4 students that we have in level 4. And one of those students in level 4 will be already reclassified because he already met the iReady test. And so if we are able to reclassify all 80 students out of the 478 that we have, we should be able to achieve a 17% EL reclassification rate this year. Student achievement goal number 1, every student reads by 3rd grade. Because we did look at our data and we saw that a lot of our students are struggling to read, especially when they get to 4th, 5th, and 6th grade. They're still reading at a kinder 1st grade level. One thing that we did with some of the instructional aids in the afternoon after lunch is that I don't want to say surveyed, but we tested every child in 4th through 6th grade on on an end of the year 3rd grade passage to see if they could at least meet that. And based on that, we tested around 380 some students. Out of those 380 some students, we were able to drop the number down to around 168 students that are struggling to read at a minimum 3rd grade level. And so the instructional aids that we have fan out in the afternoons during lunchtime, after lunchtime, to every 4th, 5th, and 6th grade classroom. They pull out the kids and they work with them on fluency and comprehension to try to support this. They also have like data chats with the students to let them know what it is that they need to do or what they need to meet for the next time. They're gonna get tested every 2 months, and hopefully we can see the growth by the end of the year with those students, because our initiative as a school site is that we want every student to read by 3rd grade. And so based on that, we implemented the testing for all 4th, 5th, and 6th, and I know that those are not 3rd graders right now, but we need to support them as they move on. And then what we're gonna talk about in a little bit is everything that we are doing with kinder 1st, 2nd, and 3rd to make sure that those kids know how to read and decode and comprehend by the time they leave 3rd grade. So I want to introduce Ms. Daniela Castro. She is our AST. Our literacy focus is Haggerty in grades K 2nd. Our instructional goal is to get every student to decode, read, and comprehend by 3rd grade.
Good evening. My name is Daniela Castro, the AST at the best school, Dual Elementary. I will be talking a little bit about Haggerty in kinder through 2nd grade. So as Mr. Lopez mentioned, the instructional goal is to get every student to decode, read, and comprehend by 3rd grade. So as of now, all K 2nd grade teachers and instructional assistants that support those students in K 2nd have been trained in Haggerty. Kinder through 2nd teachers deliver one 15 to 20 minute lesson per day as a whole group. And this year, Dual purchased the whole program. So we had the book for about 2 years. This year we have student workbooks for independent practice, sound posters, sound stories, spell tabs. Students manipulate the sounds with some Post-its. Classroom visual aids, ABC posters, consonant blend diagrams, sound wall cards, red word cards, which are the automatic sight words recognition, decodable books, and on-demand PDs for teachers. Also, the instructional aids deliver a Haggerty program during small group instruction as well. And our instructional aids that support 3rd grade in small group instruction are focusing on the students that cannot decode or read. I also have 2 AMPAC tutors that are supporting ELA in 1st and 3rd grade. And this instructional goal will impact 4th through 6th grade students as they move through their academic years at Dual. Thank you.
Sticking with our literacy for 3rd grades, I want to introduce Ms. Contreras Harrington. Our literacy focus is our literacy specialist. Instructional goal for her is to get every student to decode, read, and comprehend by the end of 2nd grade.
Good evening. My name is Claudia Contreras Harrington. I am the reading specialist, literacy coach at Dual Elementary. As Mr. Lopez stated, my instructional goal is to get every student to decode, read, and comprehend by the end of 2nd grade. At the moment, I am using SIPS and Haggerty. Haggerty, as Ms. Daniela Castro stated, is a foundational skills curriculum that covers phonemic awareness, which we know students really need in order to read and write. SIPS is the 2nd reading comprehension program. This is a systematic instruction in phonological awareness, phonics, and sight word program that focuses on foundational skills for new and struggling readers. I'm currently serving 6 groups in 1st and 2nd grade. Each group has between 6 and 7 students. I also serve 4 groups in grades 3rd through 6th. Each group has 7 to 8 students. Mr. Lopez very, I would have to say, new and knows that we need that extra support in the classroom. So he assigned an instructional assistant to be with me during this time. Ms. Garcia is also helping with small group instruction during this time. The groups last between 25 and 30 minutes. I see them Monday through Friday, and our goal is to help our students not be in the red, as we saw in the information and graphs that Mr. Lopez shared, but not only are we focusing on students in K second, but we are also servicing all the students in 3rd through 6th, because we know that there is a need, and we want to make sure that they know that we care. We are there for them. We want to see them succeed. And although they are in those upper grades, we are still here to support them and help them meet their goals. Thank you.
Our second goal for the site is every student can be a writer and can explain their thinking. For this one, I'm going to introduce Jaden Gutierrez. He's a 6th grade student over at our school site, our AVID in the classroom. Our AVID school-wide goal in K6 is we will include wicker components in our daily lessons with a focus on writing, inquiry, which is asking questions, and collaboration, having kids working together.
Good evening, I am Jaden Gutierrez, and I am a 6th grade student of Dual Elementary. So for AVID in the classrooms, kinder through 6th grade students work on the RACE strategy to help improve their writing skills. RACE stands for restate, answer, cite evidence, and explain. Kinder through 6th grade teachers use Costa's levels of thinking, of questioning, to engage students in higher order thinking levels. Kinder through 6th grade students are sitting in groups to maximize their collaboration in their classrooms. Thank you.
And some of the pictures that you see there is actually Jaden's binder for AVID. So the way they have to organize it, the way they have to take notes for language arts, notes for math, make sure that they keep all their material handy because they need to use it, refer back to it. So when they have to do a test, they have easy access to all of those handouts. Student achievement goal number 3, we can support all students through small group instruction, and this is an initiative that started this year where we are modifying our ELA block to having whole group instruction and small group instruction. So our main focus this year is going to be how can we target those needs of the students in a small group instruction setting. For this, I have the student Elisa Lopez, a 6th grader, that's going to talk to you guys about small group instruction, which is small group instruction occurs during ELA, small group, and RTI time every day.
Good evening. I'm be presenting to you about small group instruction. So small group instruction occurs during ELA, small group, and RTI times every day. Teachers target students' needs in a small group setting. Structure of student centers. First center, teacher-led center. It's through kinder to 6th grade. First center, instructional aid lead center. Kinder to 3rd grade. 3 to 5 centers, ELA/math centers, depending on the class size. Centers include versatiles, listening, making words, Scrabble, iReady reading, and math, and different word games. Thank you.
And so we have different materials, different centers that the teachers do during this time. And the main focus is for teachers to be able to have some time, at least 20 to 30 minutes, pulling a small group to give them one-on-one intervention while the other students are still doing academic, but it's more of a fun activity, but they're still targeting the standards that they're working on during that trimester. We're gonna go with right there. With Ms. Pacheco, she's in ELIT services for EL students. Ms. Analisa Pacheco.
I'm tall enough, I don't need to move it. Good evening. Good evening. I'm Analisa Pacheco, the ELIT at Dual Elementary, and yes, Luis Pacheco is my husband. To get that. My purpose is to increase students' level of language proficiency in LPAC and TAL. I want them to get a 4 so that they can be reclassified. I work with students scoring level 3 in LPAC, but if I run out of 3s, I go to the high 2s. I pull out during RTI time, and RTI time is response to intervention, which works within the weak areas. I service kindergarten all to 6th grade, and it's 10 students per grade level. The minutes range from 30 to 45 minutes daily. My instruction is data-driven, and what I use are the LPAC scores, the listening, speaking, reading, and writing domains, and the TALs. I work and I do the LPAC task types, and my focus is to work with the 3s, and the weak areas are reading comprehension and writing skills. So that's what I work with, and I use AVID skills and good practices. I give a pre and post TEL test for every cycle. Now, my schedule is Monday and Tuesday, I do narrative. On Wednesday, I do informational, which is science or social studies. On Thursday and Friday, I do persuasive. Basically, I also want them to get reclassified. Do you have any questions for me?
Guilty. No questions, no questions. Next person.
And please come to my classroom. You're going to see how language intertwines with literacy. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Pacheco. Moving on, I want to introduce to you guys Ms. Ana Lorena Martinez. She's an EL specialist. She services all of our EL students at our school site.
Good evening. My name is Ana Lorena Martinez, and I'm the English Learner Specialist at Dual. And having the focus of helping students, to reach language proficiency, so students can reach language proficiency and become fluent English proficient. Based on that, I monitor English learners' language proficiency and help them make academic progress so they can be ready for reclassification. Under this umbrella of students achieving language proficiency. When they become level 4 in the LPAC, they're ready to be considered for reclassification, and also meeting the rest of the criteria. When the students are reclassified, they need to be monitored for 4 years based on the state's requirements, and that's also something that I'm in charge of. In regards to the parents, I hold meetings with the parents as needed to inform them of the students' language proficiency, and also to help them as a team so that we can all work together for them to achieve language proficiency. And we are strong believers that once students reach that proficiency, they are going to impact the rest of their academics, having the language that is needed for them to compete at the level with the students that are English only. Thank you so much.
So Ms. Pacheco and Ms. Analo Martinez, they work hand in hand together to service all of our EL students and to make sure that they're able to reclassify as many students as we can. And Ms. Ana Lorena also gives a lot of our teachers handouts and information on how they can support and help those students during their ELD classroom. School climate, we are Cougars. School attendance initiative, I'm gonna have Ms. Brambila, she is my attendance clerk, talk to you guys about our schools initiative, and then she'll talk about the district's initiatives for attendance.
Good evening. Good evening. My name is Marita Brambila, and the attendance clerk from Joe Elementary. and I'm going to talk up a little bit about school attendance initiatives. Students who are not absent or tardy for the whole week, they receive one of the Cougar bucks, like these, for example, for the whole week. In class, they have perfect attendance per day. They also receive the Cougar bucks, but they receive 5 Cougar bucks, and teachers can raffle among the classrooms. The classroom gets highest, with highest attendance per grade at the end of the month. They receive incentive, and each student receives 5 Cougar bucks. And we have a Cougar store at our site. The students gets open twice a month, and students can go and spend their money. Student can come to the Cougar store. Student can come to. Students who are not absent or tardy Monday through Thursday, they get a free dress pass on Fridays. And students with perfect attendance at the end of the month, they also participate in a school-wide school events, fun activities. Now with the district attendance initiatives, students that attend school for the whole week, they receive a Cougar ticket, which earned them, they have the opportunity to win bike, scooters, or board games. In classrooms that gets the highest percentage at the end of the month, they also get a chance to host one of the Cougar trophies for the whole month. And thank you. That's it.
Thank you, Ms. Ramila. After putting out this initiative as a site, doing all of the Cougar bugs, the Cougar store, we have seen an increase in attendance, a drop in the times that students are absent. So we actually are seeing the fruits of our labor doing all of this for the kids. It's a lot of work because she constantly has to be checking the rosters, sending out the tickets, sending out the Cougar bugs, making sure that everybody gets it in their box. And so it's a lot of work, but we are seeing being paid off after everything we're doing. I'm going to talk to you guys about our reading on campus because we do want every child to be reading by the end of 3rd grade. Our initiative is reading. So therefore we created a coupon called I Was Caught Reading. Students, when they go out to recess, first recess, afternoon recess, or during lunchtime, and they're outside reading, every adult has these coupons. So if they see a student reading quietly under a tree, on a table, they can walk up to them and give them a ticket. Those tickets, they put their name on it. They submit them into our box in the front office. And every Friday, we raffle around 8 to 10 tickets. And whoever comes out gets a golden coin, which is then they have an opportunity to go into the cafeteria, go to our book vending machine, and select a book for them to keep. And so that's an incentive for reading. I do want to tell you guys that we do see a lot of students reading now when they're out in recess. And so it helps us limit the problems and the issues that they have when they're just out there playing. I'm going to introduce to you guys Mr. Gutierrez. He's our counselor with PBIS and student activities that we do over at Dual.
Hello, I am Samuel Gutierrez. I'm the counselor at Dual, just like Mr. Lopez says. One of the things that we do at Dual Elementary School when it comes to PBIS, we have any adult in our campus. It could be a teacher, it could be our janitor, it could be anyone in our campus can grant one of our any student that does a great job with when it comes to like respect, responsibility, perseverance, or being honest and showing these traits with a ticket. And then every Friday, if I'm correct, 10 students get selected randomly and they get a special prize. So we are promoting that in our school because every student that comes out from Dual Elementary School is able to be honest, is somebody that is respectful, responsible, and somebody that perseveres moving forward. And next slide. Okay, James.
This year, we didn't have time to do an ASB. So what happened is we created our Cougar Ambassadors group of 4th through 6th grade students that can become Cougar Ambassadors at Dual, and they run almost like an ASB. So they're in charge of the school, but they're guided more into the way they are behaving and being examples to other students. So I'm gonna have Jaden Gutierrez come on up and explain what a Cougar Ambassador is.
So as Mr. Lopez said, 4th through 6th grade students can become dual Cougar ambassadors. Our main goal is to take care and maintain order and be model students for others during morning, lunch, and afternoon recess. Cougar ambassadors model good behavior and good decision making for other students out there on campus. We promote school events and welcome parent/visitors on campus. Thank you.
And one of the reasons why we decided to go with Cougar Ambassadors is because we would see a lot of students running in the hallways. So therefore, during recess and lunch recess, we have the Cougar Ambassadors with their signs that say slow down or stop to make sure that no kid is getting hurt. And we also place a student outside of the restrooms, and they're monitoring how many are going in. And if they get too loud in there, they call one of the SSAs and let them know so that they can monitor the restrooms as well. We are a team, Cougar Pride. So I'm gonna talk to you guys about the team that we have created here at Dual. Mr. Sammy is gonna talk to you guys about tacos with the principal and the counselor, because I do not drink coffee, but I eat a lot of tacos. So therefore, at my side is tacos with the principal and the counselor.
Okay. I am back. So I also like tacos. Tacos are the best. They're the best invention ever. But one of the things, and believe it or not, food brings people together. Whenever you want to get people together, bring food. And that's what we're doing at Dual Elementary School. So at Dual Elementary School, we're increasing parent involvement. We're increasing this, and the way we also monitor this is how many students are being impacted. If we have a parent A, parent B that come, parent A has 3 kids enrolled in our school, parent B has 5 kids. Now we have a total of 5, 7, 8 students, 10 students being impacted with the knowledge that we are offering our parents, and that's what makes a difference. So as you can see in the pictures, parents are not only just there to receive information, but they're also to contribute, because at Dual Elementary School, our parents are there to also share with us what wisdom they have, their experience, because they are also experts. So they're treated that way because they deserve that. And so we also have guests come from outside agencies that had shared their knowledge with our parents because that's what makes our school a special place. Okay.
So in the beginning of the year, I met with Mr. Gutierrez, and we discussed what were some of the things we were going to offer every month. So we came up with a calendar of events for every month, different things and the topics that we were going to be doing at the site. For example, we've already talked about structured during unstructured times, emphasis on attendance and consistency. In November, we talked about cyber safety, promoting safe choices, and cyberbullying. In December, we had the district social worker and the Spectrum managing internet access at home and how they can manage their internets at home in the devices for their kids. In January, in next week, we're going to be discovering literacy at home. In February, we're focusing on positive behavior intervention systems, PBIS. We're going to talk about what we're doing for PBIS at our school site. In March, we're going to have a community resource fair. In April, we're going to talk to parents about anxiety and depression in children and adults. And then we're going to have our end of the year celebration in May. School site council. She's very nervous. I have the school site council president, Blanca Fimbres. I believe she'll say it in Spanish. Español? So, give her a hand.
Ay, estoy bien nerviosa y luego así sonrían porque, ay, ay, ay. Mi nombre es Blanca Fimbres, pertenezco al Concilio Escolar del 2023 al 2024 y lo que le sigue, ¿no? Las juntas se hacen cada 2 meses y la verdad es que he aprendido el uso y el destino de los fondos que se reciben por medio del distrito y los fondos que se reciben también por proyectos que hacemos en la escuela. También formo parte de los padres voluntarios. Miren, bien coordinados, miren. Ven, súper. Ok, y yo me encargo de pasar la información del concilio escolar a los padres voluntarios. Somos como entre 20, 25, pues allá están todos afuera, pero pues no cabían. Participamos en actividades aportando tiempo, trabajo, ni salgo en la foto. Actividades, aportando tiempo, trabajo y si se requiere también monetariamente para los eventos que hacemos para los niños de todos, o sea, todos los grupos, desde TK hasta el 6º grado. Hacemos un gran trabajo, la verdad, junto con los maestros y pues Mr. López así como que bien volado. Tenemos la venta de chocolates, no salgo ahí tampoco, pero yo vendí chocolates. Hicimos el festival de otoño, bien guapas todas, yo no salgo, pero ahí estaba. Y participamos por primera vez en el desfile navideño, así todo. Estuvo muy padre, lo disfrutamos mucho, los niños lo disfrutaron así súper más, súper todo, desde la organización, lo que hicimos, lo disfrutamos, la verdad, realmente mucho. Participamos en el festival de invierno, hacemos picnic, hacemos bailes, celebramos asistencia perfecta, todo súper. Formamos un equipo bien padre entre la escuela, los padres y pues ustedes, porque son los que dan los permisos y se ponen guapos así y todo. Entonces, Mr. López siempre como que ha estimulado mucho lo que es lo de la asistencia. Entonces, nomás, si estoy bien nerviosa, pero les voy a decir algo, pero así rapidito, porque el Mr. López, les dice tanto a los papás así como que no falten, porque un día que faltan los niños es un día que le quitan al maestro al otro día, porque el maestro se tiene que enfocar en el niño que faltó y así, bla, y no sé qué, y los papás así como que sí, ya no vamos a faltar y no sé qué. Pero los niños pues igual, y luego les dice, no pongan las juntas de los doctores, no lo hagan como en la mañana, pónganlas en la tarde, o si tienen que ir en la mañana realmente, pues regresen a los niños, porque pues realmente no nada más es por el dinero, sino por la educación, porque les pierden mucho. Entonces, lo que empezó, pero pues ya también ahí estaba. Entonces, empezó como que a motivarlos. Entonces compra un chorro de snacks, así como bien rico. Y luego también les compra con muchos premios. Y luego si no faltan, pues así como que tenemos el baile. No, nosotras no bailamos, nomás cuidamos. Pero los padres voluntarios así como que aportamos un chorro. Entonces, es bullying, ¿eh? Entonces, nos encanta porque los niños, o sea, los muchos papás ya han dicho como que iba a poner la cita, pero que su hijo le dijo así como, no quiero faltar, mamá, porque no voy a poder ir al baile. O sea, están bien encantados de veras y están cordialmente invitados al baile. Tenemos un chorro de proyectos para ahora, para el 14 de febrero, y luego también lo de la graduación de los niños del 6. Pero luego ya sé que todos ustedes los invitan y nunca van. Sí, vayan a la escuela, dense una vueltecita, van a disfrutar. Ya me viene a decir rápido, ¿pueden ponerse la camisa? Ahí la tienen, pero no es para que la vayan y la cuelguen, es para que se la pongan y vayan y todo. Me invitó Blanca Fimbres y pues todos así como que lo van a dejar pasar. ¿Sale? Buenas noches, muchas gracias y estoy bien nerviosa. Bye.
So I don't know if you guys can open your little bag to just show the shirt. Parents, volunteers got together and they decided to design their own parent volunteer shirts that say mom volunteer, dad volunteer, and then it started to carry over to sister volunteer, brother volunteer, aunt volunteer, and so now we have board member volunteers, right? So again, every time we have an event, you are more than welcome to go, but wear your volunteer shirt so you can help us with our students. No. And then incentives, like the parent volunteer said, we have done ice cream social, movie night, popcorn day, dances for students that are not absent for the whole month. So it's something that students are looking forward to. Like I mentioned when we talked about attendance, we have seen a decline in students being absent. What is next for Dual Elementary in the future? We are applying for a grant for a community school partnership. It's not like the community school that we're used to. It's more like an FRC inside each campus. And so it's Mains, Rockwood, and myself at Dual that are going into this community school partnership. And hopefully we're able to get the money awarded to us so that we can start implementing it at the school site. Something else that I was just informed today is that Dual was chosen to become the first dual language school in Calexico, hopefully starting next year with a TK and a kinder classroom. Thank you very much. At this time, I would like to show you guys a video. It's about 4 minutes of all the stuff that we've done throughout this whole year up until December. Our red carpet event, we celebrate the students that met or exceeded SBAC in ELA and math, and they are able to walk the red carpet. Nobody else can touch that red carpet. You have to earn it. So at the end of the assembly, it's rolled up and nobody's able to walk on it. And every year we pull it out. And so kids get a shirt, a medal, and their certificates for that. And it happens twice a year because at the end of the year, we celebrate the LPAC students. We not only do things for our school, we also do things for outside our community. So this year we participated on Red Shoe Day to help the Ronald McDonald's House in San Diego. And we were the second elementary in Calexico that raised the most money in the whole valley. Rockwood, where my wife is at, was the first school. The turkey trot, we got the donations from Walmart for the turkeys this year. Dual Elementary is probably the only elementary school that celebrates our veterans, holding a veteran day raise of the flag at the site. We invite the veterans and we feed them breakfast, and then we have an assembly for them where they are able to raise their flags and we play taps and everything. We do celebrate Students of the Month and Citizens of the Month every month, as well with attendance. And this year, like we said, we came out on the Christmas parade, and we were able, with the help of the parents, buy shields that say Dual, and that's one of our parents from Dual. And he stole the show. Again, going back to our reading, every student is able to go to the library at least once a week with their class to take out a book, and we do have our vending machine as prizes for students that display reading skills during recess. Again, touching on our small group instruction with the versatiles, the teacher-led centers, and this happens during every grade level from K through 6. This year we had 3 students participate in our science fair. One of them was Jaden Gutierrez, who is back here. Hopefully the following years we're able to get more students to go. We were the only elementary in Calexico that participated. Actually, only school in Calexico that participated. Thank you very much. Do you have any questions for us?
Thank you very much, Mr. Lopez. This is a great presentation.
Well, I just want to go ahead and just congratulate you guys. I see that there is a lot of pride. Not only that, I mean, just to see the collaboration that's going on with your guys' students amongst, you know, one another, parents' involvements. I mean, these just keep on getting better and better every time, you know, school comes and presents. I don't want to sound cliche, but it is. It was amazing. Thank you guys so much for the shirt. I'm going to take you guys up on that offer. I'll end up showing up on these days. I don't know if I'm going to be able to show up with the shirt because I'm just playing. I'll try to show up with the shirt also as well. But thank you. Thank you guys so much for
Thank you.
Muchas gracias.
Any other comments?
Just keep up the good work. We have work to do, but we're on the way. Just keep up. Little Gotita is going to... Okay? Congratulations.
Congratulations.
I also want to, quiero agradecerle a la señora Fimbres, ajá. Su energía es súper contagiosa, me encanta y me imagino que anima más papás para estar envueltos en todos los programas y todas las actividades que tienen en la escuela. Mr. Lopez, I really liked you as a assistant principal at Cesar Chavez. I really love the work you're doing here at Dual Elementary. Now that you're a principal, and actually I'm a student from Dual, and I recall every time, like when I go see a school, especially Dual, Mr. Zanella, Mr. Arevalo, and Mrs. Moninger, I go back to the school and I feel like a child again, I have great memories, muy buenas memorias de esa escuela. And that's it, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I would like to thank everyone that's here tonight. Our Dual School representatives. I know that Dual is a special school with a special community. One of you guys said it tonight. We do it because we care. Lo hacemos porque nos importa. And I think at the end of the day, si trabajamos con corazón, no hay nada imposible, right? So a few points that I do want to make is, Ms. Fimbres, ¿quiere ser la vocera del distrito escolar? A lo mejor le voy a hablar, ¿ok? Bueno, pues. Mr. Pacheco, I thought it was very smart of you not to question your wife during the presentation. I thought that was very smart. And Mr. Silvano Lopez, I thought it was very smart of you to give your wife's school a little bit of a shout out. So that was very smart of you guys. So I picked up a few things from you guys tonight. So no, without kidding aside, what we do, lo que hacemos es sumamente importante. Yo creo que es una de las cosas más importantes del mundo. Y esa es la calidad de vida que le vamos a dar a nuestros alumnos. Y a veces ahorita no le podemos dar con cosas materiales, no les podemos dar con dinero, no les podemos dar con juguetes caros o carros caros o ropa cara, pero nada de eso es tan importante como una educación buena de calidad. So thank you for being there. Thank you for Mr. Lopez. Leadership matters. It takes a good leader. And so I know before we get into our next section, which is our Classified Excellence Award, our Certificated Excellence Award, and our Outstanding Students Award, your parents have a little surprise that they asked me if they could just take a couple minutes and come up tonight and give something to you. So Ms. Ms. Zoe Garcia, one of our long-time parents from Dual.
Hay personas que están aquí que saben que se ha trabajado durante años para formar lo que se formó en estos 6 meses, que fue un grupo de padres que se pudieran meter dentro de la escuela para poder hacer eventos como se ha enseñado ahorita. Gracias de nuevo porque fuiste tú el que nos abriste la puerta a ver la alegría de nuestros hijos. Gracias.
Pero ustedes traen las ideas. The staff brings the ideas. I just help you guys execute whatever it is that you guys want to do in the parameters that I can work on with the district, right? Because we have limitations, things that we can do and can't do. And so sometimes we try to find a loophole, right? And again, we always think about our students. Everything that we're doing is for our kids. We don't do anything for ourselves. We do everything for our kids. And we see their expressions when we do the dances, when we give them the popsicles, when we give them the ice creams, when we give them the cotton candy. We see it in the faces. So thank you, parents. Thank you, staff. I love you guys so much. And let's move forward. Let's keep
So it's gonna be number 2. Thank you, Mr. Lopez. Number 2, Mr. Jimenez.
Thank you so much, Ms. Magallanes. And I'd like to kind of keep the theme with Dual Elementary School going for a little bit longer because it's going so great that it's now my honor today to actually I'm going to ask these two folks to come up here and stand in front of all of you while I read a little bit about them. So before I even do that, can I ask our Classified Employee of Excellence Award and our Certificate Employee of Excellence Award, Ms. Leticia Ureña and Ms. Fabiola Castillo, to please come up. Right over here in the middle. Right over here in the middle. Okay, so I'm going to start with our Classified Employee Excellence Award, Ms. Leticia Ureña. Ms. Leticia Ureña is currently an instructional aide for our RSP class. That's one of our special education classes. She has been a part of Calexico Unified School District for the last 35 years. Well, 35 years and 11 months, 34 years and 11 months. Next month, it'll be 35 years. We could go with 35 years. She has always worked at Dual the whole entire time. She enjoys coming to school to work every day. She is a strong team player, always willing to help others. She enjoys dancing, and it's the life of a party in all her gatherings. So I was told today that she doesn't just dance, but if it's the disco music, she dances disco. If it's cumbia, she dances cumbia. So she's got the moves for all the musical genres. So congratulations, Ms. Ureña, our Classified Employee Excellence Award. And our Certificated Employee Excellence Award is Ms. Fabiola Castillo. Ms. Fabiola Castillo is currently a second grade teacher at Dual. She has been a part of the Calexico Unified School District for the last 27 years. She enjoys working with children and says that there are no boring days in a classroom. Each day is full of challenges and satisfactions. She enjoys hosting carne asada gatherings and playing with her two dogs. Thank you so much, Ms. Castillo. So at this point, we are going to ask for a photo opportunity with our classified and certificated employees with the school board, and our both of our Ms. Fabiola, Ms. Castillo, and Ms. Ureña will be receiving our certificate with the Calexico pen and a Historia de Calexico, the History of Calexico book. So thank you so much.
So that was number 2 and number 3. Number 4, dual elementary outstanding students.
Thank you so much, President Magallanes. So now I'd like to ask these two outstanding students to please also come to the front and stand in the middle of the dais right here. And that is for our Dual Elementary Outstanding Students Award that goes out to Elisa Lopez and Jaden Gutierrez.
Right in the middle.
And we saw how outstanding they are by the presentation that they helped give today. You guys did a wonderful job with your presentation, guys. Great job. So Elisa Lopez is currently a 6th grade student. Ooh, big year, going to junior high school next year. Her parents are Rosa and Lauro Lopez. She enjoys tutoring with Mr. Bowen. Her favorite subject is math. She is also part of the Cougar Ambassadors on campus. When she grows up, Elisa wants to be an Army technology soldier. Congratulations, Elisa. Jaden Gutierrez. Jaden is currently a 6th grade student. His parents are Maria Murillo and Jesus Javier Gutierrez Diaz. He enjoys coming to school. His favorite subjects are math and science. He is currently participating in the ICOE Science Fair and School Spelling Bee. He is also part of the Cougar Ambassadors on campus. When he grows up, he wants to be a scientist. Congratulations, children. And Jaden and Elisa will be also be receiving a really nice certificate for their collection. I'm sure they're going to get many more of these. And a shirt that says Dual Elementary Outstanding Student Award 2024 with their name on it. And they're going to get, let me make sure this one's it. Is it it, Janet? They're going to get a signed autograph book by the author of Historia de Calexico. The author is Yolanda Sanchez Ogas, and she actually signed it for you guys. So you have her autograph in this book. Congratulations, guys. So we're going to take a picture with the board. Yes, if we could ask the parents. Ready? Well, can I do that after this? Because I want them to be here for us. Yeah.
Okay, number 5, SDSU and San Marcos University Guaranteed Admission Program.
Thank you, President Magallanes. So normally speaking, to our parents and our staff here today and our students, at this point we would take a 5-minute break so you guys could leave. I know it's been a long day and our kids got to get to bed and get ready for school tomorrow, right? But this is such an exciting presentation. It's a shorter presentation. It won't keep you here very long, but I'm asking if you guys could stay here so you could hear what this presentation is about. It is my honor and my privilege to share with you tonight that we have representatives here from San Diego State University, our representatives from San Marcos, which they're out in San Diego, a little bit further away, and they couldn't make it here with us. But we've been very fortunate to have a agreement signed and executed with San Diego State University and San Marcos State University that guarantees admission for our graduating students when they graduate from high school, when they graduate from Calexico High School. Go Bulldogs, arriba Bulldogs, right? But if our kids meet a certain criteria, right, they meet the requirements that are set in the agreement, they will have guaranteed admission into San Diego State University Imperial Valley campus and or San Marcos State University as freshmen. So this is a really big deal. I personally, before we have staff and we have folks from San Diego State that I'll introduce right now that are going to give you a brief presentation. But before we do that, I just want to thank you, Dr. Nunez. I want to thank you, Dr. Espinosa, for your partnership, for your collaboration. I think Dr. Nunez, when we met was like in my first month here, about a year and a half ago, we met, we talked about it, and she said, what can we do? How can we make a difference for Calexico? We talked about this concept and we got it done. And it starts this year, so I'm just very, very excited that for our dual kids, they get through junior high school, Willie Moreno or Kiki Camarena, whichever one of the schools, they go to Calexico High School, and when you graduate as a senior, you get good grades, you attend your classes, you attend school. If you want to, you could go to San Diego State University, our beautiful campus just 3 minutes away from here, or San Marcos in San Diego. You could go to any university you guys want to, but these universities, you have guaranteed admission to go there. So without further ado, at this point, I'd like to ask Dr. Nunez and Dr. Espinosa and Ms. Elisa Ramirez if they could come up to the podium. They're going to share some words. We had a whole team working on this. Ms. Dr. Nunez had her team. We had our team. Gabby Williams, Gabby Flores, Ciria Hurtado. There was a lot of people working on this today, and we want to thank all of them. But today we have our representatives for this presentation.
Buenas noches, good evening. My name is Dr. Gina Nunez. I'm a proud Calexico High School alum, and I went to local elementary schools. We were migrant farm worker kids. So for all the teachers who invested in us, they would see us for 2 or 3 months, and then we had to ask for our transcripts and had to move. So please be patient. It takes time. Many times we turn around and said, where should have I learned this? Where should have I learned this? Because I was constantly being pulled in and out of schools. And then kids would remember us or make fun of us. Teachers would remember us. Principals would remember us because we were 5 kids. And my mom would always send us to school con lechugas, melones, zanahoria, cauliflower, whatever was in harvest and season. Entonces yo siempre decía, please, no trabajen en la sandía, no trabajen en la sandía, because those were very heavy for us to carry. But, you know, I'm very proud that not only am I a Calexico Bulldog alum, but that my brothers and sisters are all teachers, that we all came out of Calexico Unified and are all SDSU alumni. And we're very committed to the university that has seen us grow into professionals. 2 of my siblings are currently working with you all as your peers, Ms. Betty Nunez in Calexico High School, teaching CTE, preparing kids for professional careers, and Mr. Franco Nunez, who's a coach, and they won the championship, right? And I remember my brother saying, buscan el periódico donde salió Calexico High School, que ganamos el campeonato. It was really hard to find us being highlighted. Nobody could believe Calexico could beat anyone in San Diego, and we did. Right? But I always am reminded that oftentimes people don't always have the expectations that many of us are children of immigrants or immigrants ourselves. But the saddest thing for me is that I graduated from Calexico High School and didn't really know there was a university here. And that there's a university here since 1959. And that someone had to go up to bat. Someone had to say, these kids are worthy of investing in. And for the parents, para las mamás que están aquí, porque la mayoría son las madres y los padres o las abuelitas, las tías que van por los niños y que ayudan a llegar a los niños a la escuela. Quiero que sepan que les tengo mucho cariño y admiración, que son las primeras maestras y las superhéroes de su familia. You model what excellence looks like. You model the importance of education. Lo que les quiero decir, porque anoche Calipat me dijo, come give a keynote, habla con los papás. I was asked to speak to all the AB honor roll students, los que están agarrando todos los certificados porque tienen buenas calificaciones, y hablar con las mamás y los papás. I shared with them the importance of aspiring higher. Quiero que por favor les enseñen a sus hijos a soñar. Que no salga de sus bocas, no puedes porque no tenemos. No puedes porque somos pobres. Por favor, no sean los primeros que les quiten las alas a sus hijos. Necesito que ustedes crean y que inspiren a sus hijos y que siembren esa semilla. Lo que tú quieres hacer, lo vas a lograr. No sabemos cómo, pero quiero que ustedes sepan que hay todo un equipo que está aquí dispuesto a trabajar para que sus hijos tengan éxito. San Diego State offers 12 undergraduate degrees. Our largest majors are psychology, criminal justice, liberal studies. We now have also a new degree in public health. We're going to be rolling out 2 new degrees. Ya viene el litio. This region is going to be transformed. We have Silicon Valley, and we are now coined Lithium Valley. In fall 2025, we will be rolling out a new degree in chemistry and electrical engineering. Our commitment is to come into these schools and grow our own leaders in renewable energies. We can't wait someone else to come and save us, to lead us and tell us what to do when there is talent locally. For many of you, if you want to send your kids away, send them away. I am a huge proponent. Nobody's a prophet in their own land. Yo me fui a San Diego. And it was important for me to go to San Diego because there was 4 other kids and siblings following. But then I went to New Mexico and I went to Texas. Y ahí crecí mucho. But now it's my turn to come home. and to invite you, come to San Diego State. Ahí vi una foto con los Dual, del Grinch, enfrente de San Diego State. Pásense. That's a public state university. We are open to serve you. We are open to serve the students of the Imperial Valley. That without this university, we wouldn't have the quality teachers, because about 80-90% of the teachers in the Imperial Valley have come from San Diego State. And that is something that I'm incredibly proud of. We are helping to prepare the people who are creating the leaders for this community. And wherever I go, if people say, you know, vengo de Calexico, you're hired. Ven mis twisted earrings, eres de Calexico. ¿Cómo sabías? Los aretes, las pulseras. There's something that distinguishes us besides being bilingual, competent professionals, right? Vengo de Calexico y con mucha honra y con mucho orgullo. ¿Y qué? Right? Because I have a PhD and I am bilingual in Spanish and English. So promoting literacy and promoting English is incredibly important, but not at the cost of erasing who we are. I never want us to have to apologize for who we are as bilingual leaders of our community and this nation. I am the first Latina dean in 125 years in the history of San Diego State University. Right, the first one. And representation is critical. Our kids need to see themselves represented in their faculty, in their leaders. We will be critiqued. We will be, no matter what we do, no matter what you all do, les van a criticar los números. But not everybody has the courage to teach. To get up every day and say, today, I'm gonna build the leaders. I'm gonna teach our kids to read. I'm gonna teach them math. But tomorrow, they're gonna be engineers. They're gonna become NASA engineers. They're gonna be educators. They're gonna be lawyers. They're gonna be leaders. Y venimos de la frontera, right? We are producing bilingual professionals for the rest of the nation. And there's something about Calexico. Y a mí me critican, you just care about Calexico? No, we serve the Imperial Valley. I was in Calapat yesterday. ¿Sí? Invíteme a la high school, invíteme a las ceremonias, and we will be there. Because this is my town. This is my community. I'm very proud of it. And my brothers and sisters have committed to loving your children, teaching and modeling. Cuando dicen mis niñas, volteamos todas. We're all educators, right? And my parents would wake up at 3 in the morning, and they were be in the fields at 5, 6 in the morning. They come home by 6, dinner was ready, and all the kids were doing their homework. Enséñenle a sus hijos a soñar. Enséñenles a leer. Que les lean antes de irse a jugar o antes de andar con las tecnologías. We're fighting technology. The kids have limited attention span. Y todos así. El mío también, no se preocupe. El mío is 11th grader in Calexico High School. But today we're here because we are making a pact, an agreement, a memorandum of understanding, an MOU, that says we are willing to invest in your students. At this moment, San Diego State has 120,000 applications. 120,000 kids want to go into San Diego State, believe that or not. It's bursting at the seams with over 37, almost 40,000 students. So they get to turn people away, because everybody wants to live in San Diego. But you know what? If you graduate from San Diego State Imperial Valley, no dice San Diego State Imperial Valley. Dice San Diego State University, right? My biggest challenge is recruiting talent that wants to come and be here serving our kids, because it's not easy to recruit talent. And my biggest dream is that we will one day grow our own. I want to grow our own professors who understand what it is to be bilingual and from the borderlands, who understand the challenges of going through an educational system, not knowing the language. And in spite of that, we will grow and we will triumph and we will survive and we will be leaders and we will be open, because every one of you that is bilingual has an extra key to other parts of the world. And if you're trilingual, pues mejor. See? Love the first language, love the second one, and keep on learning. It's never too late to learn. We have 3 master's programs, including a master's in social work, a master's in leadership for nurses. We have now been approved to offer PhDs at San Diego State on our own. Things are about to change. For this community, for our university, ténganos fe, visítenos. If you can send your kids away, mándenlos. But if you can't, no pasa nada. Aquí tiene una universidad que está aquí para tomarlos de las manos, to take you by the hand and walk you through. In San Diego State, as you enter, there is an arch and there is a plaque that says, through these gates the future will pass. Through these gates the future will pass. So if you have gone through those gates, come back, mentor our future teachers. Liberal studies is really important. We don't have a lot of people going into your profession. We know it's not easy. For those of you who teach, my complete admiration to you. Now I'm going to pass on the baton to my colleague, Dr. Salvador Espinosa, who commutes right from San Diego and very recently has bought his house and made a commitment to become a Calesiano.
Thank you. Buenas noches. Hello, everyone. I decided to move to Calexico because after being out of my own home and my family for 20 plus years, then I felt that I was in a space where I could be home again with the food that I like, with the people that I like, and it was one of the best decisions that I've ever made. So now, let me tell you why it's so important to work together in these kind of documents. It's not the document itself, it's the spirit behind the document. I was paying close attention to the presentation, and there are two things that really got me. I want to study to be an Army technology soldier, technology. I want to be a scientist. And then I thought, San Diego State University Imperial Valley is going to start offering STEM degrees in a STEM building that is not going to be somewhere else. It's going to be here. It's going to be in the Imperial Valley. So then the next thing is something that I've already seen is when we wait for our kids to become a freshman, then it's not only the classes that they take, especially when they start working a cohort model, then they start moving along with that cohort, and that's where they get friends. And that's where they get the network. That's where they meet faculty who may end up recommending them for something. So it's important to keep them in that cohort. But to keep them in that cohort, and engineering is a very, very, very important example, then freshman year in college is extremely important because that's when they need to have, for example, the Math 150 level. So they need to pass that class to be moving forward with that cohort. And to be able to do that, then we need to work together to make sure that we start coordinating actions way before they apply for college. So the idea of this pathway for success is precisely that. Is San Diego State University Imperial Valley is offering guaranteed admission, but we're also going to start working with the Calexico Unified School District in strategies, in very specific things that we can do to start working with the kids when they say, I want to be an Army technology soldier, I want to be a scientist, because then if they do it, they can do it here. No, they don't need to go anywhere else. So they stay with their family, they stay with their values, they stay in the places that they know, they stay with their friends, and also something very important, when Dr. Nunez mentioned Lithium Valley. Think about it as an opportunity to develop the Imperial Valley, because it's not just the lithium. It's they found lithium, they found a lot of it. But what do we need to power those electric cars that we see? They need batteries, and those batteries need lithium. So it's not only thinking about how do we extract the lithium, it's how do we build the batteries. That's what electrical engineers do, design batteries, design technology. So that's the idea of having a STEM building, and that's the idea of having the Calexico campus offering more degrees so that we make sure that someone who wants to aspire higher and really dream about becoming something, they don't need to go anywhere to be able to do it. So the quality education is going to be here. So that's the spirit of this, and that's why we appreciate the support from the board to be able to start working on the implementation of this extremely important MOU between Calexico Unified School District and San Diego State University Imperial Valley.
Thank you so much, Dr. Espinosa and Dr. Nunez. So, Ms. Ramirez, I know we're running a little bit late and we don't want to keep you held up for much longer, but Ms. Ramirez is going to take us through a quick presentation on the program.
So good evening, Superintendent, board members, and family and community members. My name is Elisa Ramirez. I'm the Assistant Superintendent of Educational Services, and my Ed Services team, along with myself, have been working with our partners, Dr. Espinosa and Dr. Nunez, along with even our San Diego, Dr. Maldonado and Directora Duran, and other projects with San Diego State. But we're very proud to be able to build these partnerships, which we had lost for a period of time. And myself too, every Friday, religiously, my mom, along with my two younger siblings when I was 6, 7 years old, we would walk every Friday through Heber, and I never once saw San Diego State, was not aware of it. When I graduated from Calexico High School, I was asked, well, where do you want to go to school? Well, I don't know, you tell me. And so the counselor says, you can go anywhere, I'm gonna send you to UCSD. Didn't know I had a San Diego State here because I cried for years when I left. I was one of those that didn't want to leave, but I felt like I had to leave because I had no other choices. Well, no, that's not true. We don't have to leave. You're going to see here that through San Diego State, which is going to be here locally, and Cal State San Marcos, which is San Diego, our students will have an opportunity to have guaranteed admission if they fulfill some requirements. And our goal is to increase applications from our underrepresented students, including our low-income students, for these two universities. We want to make sure that we increase access to four-year universities. And this doesn't create added stress for students and family members, because my mother suffered a lot when we left. She lost 2 daughters the same year to leaving to San Diego for the university. And to make 4-year degrees more accessible to our students. So the requirements are very similar for both of them. For both of them, it does require that our students are Calexico students and that they have been with us since 9th grade. We do make exception for our unduplicated pupils, which are our homeless population, military, etc. Two is that they meet the minimum requirements for the universities. Okay, whatever the requirements are, they have to make sure they meet them, and that they have completed all the A through G coursework, which is required of a Cal State. Then there's other little minor changes. So for example, for Cal State San Marcos, it requires that a student have a GPA of 2.0 or higher. A 2.0 is a C, okay, a C or higher. San Diego State is 2.5, which is also a C or higher. The San Marcos students, they ask them to participate in and pass the early assessment program their junior year. For us, juniors take the SBAC in math and ELA. So if they exceed, they meet this requirement. And then they apply for the FAFSA. Students have to apply for a FAFSA, that's law. So all of our students have to apply for FAFSA. San Diego State, students have to submit their application through the Cal State Apply, which is where they get their number to be able to be a student at San Diego State. I have a number for San Diego State myself. And 6, that they meet all post-admission deadlines. Most universities, like the UCs, are very competitive, and they require you to have a 3.5 or higher. So these opportunities that we have here are for our students that are struggling to leave and get those higher grades. So as a Bulldog graduate, the CHS graduates will have a visible pathway to college. Dr. Nunez was saying that a lot of times our parents say, no, pues es que no tenemos el dinero, no nos va a alcanzar, ¿verdad? Entonces, con esto no. Los niños saben que tienen cerca la posibilidad de ir a un colegio. The ability and preparation will be required for academic rigor. They know that they're going to have to work hard because they know what their end goal is. You have family, friends, and community support. When you go out of Calexico, it's really hard to be away from your family, especially if you are immersed in this culture of always being with families every weekend. We were in Mexicali every weekend with our grandparents, and then to have to leave that was really hard. So you have students that go and are ready to take off. Then you have students that think that they're ready, they go, and then they end up coming back after a year or two. And then you have some students that says, no, I don't want to leave Calexico, okay? And so we know that we have students that have the potential, but they choose not to leave, and they don't know that they have these other opportunities here. So San Diego State is giving that to our students. They do have the financial resources. They don't have to worry about finding rent, finding roommates, losing a roommate, who's gonna pay the rest of the rent, because that's all chaotic and stressful for students and parents. They're gonna have a support network here, because they have, like mentioned, their friends. And then their educational knowledge is on both campuses. They have Calexico High School. They always can go back to their teachers for that support. And now they're gonna have San Diego State right next to them. So the future of guaranteed admissions for our Bulldogs, what does that mean? Is opting for a college degree is almost always an advantage. And so you have we know that education is the one thing that nobody can take away from you, right? Data shows that guaranteed admissions also lead to more students attending college because they know they can achieve that goal. San Diego State IB campus will strengthen the already partnerships that we have, and we have now an open door policy for our students and our parents, and we will help them transition to this local university. This is a win-win experience for everybody, for our students, for parents, and for our community. And then we create a college-going culture for first generation, low income, and all students. I'm also a first generation. I'm also a migrant student. I'm also an English learner. And I'm also a student that went through the death of a family member, the violence at home. And y sí se puede, sí se puede. ¿Verdad? If you have the right supports, se puede lograr. So thank you, and parents, I hope, like Dr. Nuño said, that you tell your students, no sé cómo le vamos a hacer, pero vas a ir al colegio, porque sí se puede.
Thank you. So
Dr. Jimenez y a toda tu mesa directiva, thank you to all the school board members and all the staff who helped us with this. We are getting an $80 million STEM building. El gobernador invirtió 80 millones para poder crear ingenieros matemáticos y químicos. Ya viene, quebramos ya, el proyecto empieza el 9 de febrero, vamos a empezar a construir ese edificio en Brawley, y también se nos han aprobado 17 millones para crear los primeros dormitorios en San Diego State, para que los estudiantes puedan vivir en la universidad.
thank you. So very briefly, this is a big deal for Calexico. It's a big deal for the Imperial Valley. So on behalf of the Calexico Unified School District, a certificate of appreciation presented to by the Board of Education to Pathways to Success San Diego State University Imperial Valley campus in recognition of the partnership and collaboration to improve the higher education opportunities for Calexico Unified School District students, presented today, January 18, 2024. So San Diego State University, Dr. Nunez, Dr. Espinosa, on behalf of our school district, of our board, we'd like to present you with this certificate tonight. So. Cuando la doctora Núñez dijo que hay 120,000 aplicantes por año a San Diego State, no era exageración. Es una de las universidades que más aplican en los Estados Unidos, y nomás aproximadamente como 36, 40,000 alumnos pueden ir. Hay 120,000 alumnos que aplican cada año, y sus hijos van a tener matriculación garantizada. Así que sí se puede, ¿ok? Okay. Muchas gracias. Yeah. Ok, ahora sí, gracias. Coffee, what? Tenemos café y unas meriendas aquí en el lobby. Sí.
H, comments from the public. The board will take any and all comments from the public related to an item on the agenda or any other item on the district business that is not on the agenda. No comments? I, consent agenda. All items appearing will be acted upon one motion without discussion unless any item is pulled for separate consideration and action.
Move for approval. So, second.
Motion by Mr. Contreras, second by Mr. Alvarado. All those in favor say aye.
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 I do, well, I wanted to,
Oh.
this is for the consent agenda, I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
Yes.
I just want to make a comment on the pre-list, payable pre-list. I have nothing on it, well, I do, but it would take us too long. The only thing that, after reviewing our account payable pre-list, all I could give advice to our staff is that we need to start cutting. We're spending a lot of money, the unnecessary money that we should be looking forward. I mean, we already heard the governor is short funding us, and we got to get ready. And I reviewed the pre-list, and there's a lot of waste. So please, if you can cut, it would be appreciated. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Calderon. So a motion by Mr. Contreras, second by Mr. Alvarado. It's all those in favor. It's five. Yeah, all those in favor say aye. They said
Yes.
already.
Thank you.
J, information items. 1, superintendent's report.
Thank you, President Magallanes. I'm going to keep it a little bit short today. First of all, I just want to welcome everybody back from the winter vacation and to the year 2024. We're on our second half of the school year. We're heading towards the finish line. So to all of our staff, our teachers, our classified employees, our administrators, and especially our students, let's keep working hard. Let's finish the race hard, and let's get through the finish line. These are very important months between now and June. We're looking forward to all the elementary and junior high promotions, the high school graduation, and we're looking forward to our student achievement and all the academic success and school and educational successes that we're having. Let's keep increasing that. Si se puede, we could do it. Calexico is an incredible school district. We have very hardworking, dedicated, smart students and staff and community, and we are going to be a distinguished school district in the state of California. So as we come back after the holidays, let's continue working hard with a lot of commitment and dedication and passion to the work that we're doing and to our schools and education. And then I just would, the other thing, Ms. Magallanes, that I do want to say is that as we all know, in the Imperial Valley, the Brawley community suffered a terrible tragedy in the loss of 4 of their high school students. And I just want to say that our deepest condolences to Brawley, to the families, the students, all the staff from Brawley, the city, and the school district. Our thoughts and prayers are with you. We've been thinking of you since we heard the horrible news. May you find condolences in this terrible moment. And I just wanted to share that we will be closing the meeting today in a minute of silence in memory of your loss. Thank you very much, Ms. Magallanes.
Thank you for that, Mr. Jimenez. Number 2, board reports. We're going to start with Mr. Alvarado.
Well, thank you for joining us here today. As you guys saw, we had an amazing presentation given by Dual School. And also, just along the same sentiment as our superintendent just stated right now, my condolences go out to those families, 4 families out there in Brawley that lost their lives so tragically. But on another note, I also want to point out that, as you stated, we are so close here, tight-knit valley. We had some of our students get together and, something wonderful came out of it. And, they went ahead and went out there and, paid their due respects also as well, by gathering some funds together. Even though it's not gonna take away that pain, but at least they know that we are remembering them there, and our students just shows, how much, it did affect the whole valley as a whole. With that said, there's a lot of good stuff going on here in Calexico, as you guys saw right now, San Marcos and San Diego State. And there's a lot of good stuff. I mean, I just can't, say enough of it. I'm just waiting to see the fruits of our labor that's going to be coming out here in the next couple of years. And another thing that I want to say is that, and this was something I think that we're going to be discussing at a later date, is we need to start working closely with the city of Calexico for, opening up some of our areas for, our students out there. It being the soccer field parks, or whatever it is, but we're gonna have to start doing something, to allow some of our youth to come in and, to utilize, our fields or whatever it is here in the night and stuff like that. I know I did share some ideals that I had, and I think we need to bring along also IID to see what they could do also as well, to see, try to help us out, at least lighting some of these fields up also as well, either being at Enrique Camarena or down on the west side of town also as well, trying to open up these parks for our youth and stuff like that. Other than that, thank you for joining us, and you guys have a good night.
Well, good evening, everyone, and thank you, Madam President, I'll take. I'll be short. My condolences to the Brawley family. Like Mr. Alvarado was saying, it's a very hard process that we have to go through, but again, my condolences to them, and congratulations to Mr. Lopez. I'm very proud that I was part of the board when we approved him as principal, and he has become one of our leaders. And again, congratulations to him, to his staff, to the parents, and to the students that came to talk today. Thank you very much. That's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Calderon. Mr. Pacheco?
No, just to go back to December, I did go to a couple of sites, and they were raffling off their bikes and all the events. And I went to Dual, and I went to Cesar Chavez, and I got an opportunity to draw names. And my wife says, you know what? The kid that won the bike just got reclassified. He's a sixth grader, and he's the most humblest kid that could have won. You guys did it was just a 1 in a million that he got selected, so he was a winner. That was good for me to be there, and I think Mr. Calderon was also there for Cesar Chavez. But welcome back, everybody, and let's get to work.
Thank you, Mr. Pacheco. Mr. Contreras?
I'm just echoing again the Brawley, our deepest thoughts with them. Today the presentations, I thought they went excellent. I think, they made every single one of the persons in there make a presentation. One of the kids, Jaden did a couple, and so did Elisa, and they showed like a lot of the stuff that they're learning and things like that, right? I think at the beginning I saw the red on it, and I was telling Mr. Pacheco, hey, like the numbers are wrong, like 77%, like that's bad, right? Until he started doing his presentation, because I'm looking at it from a budget and accounting, right? And I'm like, I don't even know why he marked it as red, so that's why I made that comment to him. It's like, put a different color on it, right? So those presentations, I think they were great. I think every time that they present the schools that come in, they have the advantage of having seen the other schools, and they come in and present something different. The boards keep on getting a little bit more exciting every time. So when I think the parent that they brought today was just on point to represent the parents. And then for today, I don't know if you guys seen the news that President Biden, through the Department of Education, has announced the new policies for absenteeism nationwide and the effects that it's been having on that. And I think that, we're a little bit ahead of his policy with a lot of the stuff that is being done, at least here in Calexico. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Contreras. And myself, along the same sentiments, my deepest condolence to Brawley, our thoughts and prayers. I have a message for the parents for Dual and staff again. I appreciate your presence and support. This fantastic presentation and your active engagement is truly valuable. I also want to say thank you again to the food director. Food is always delicious. I've been getting a lot of comments. I also want to again congratulate our staff and our students from Dual Elementary. And I also want to mention that Miss Dr. Nunez had a great presentation and very inspiring. Love her story, and those are excuse me, those are the type of leaders we need to come back here to our town. That's it. Thank you.
Can I add one more thing? Welcome aboard, Mr. Torres. I forgot to mention you, and I don't know if, out there in the community, we do have a new CFO. Welcome on board. I don't know if he's going to talk, but just want to, I don't know if I jumped the gun, but I probably did.
Just a little bit, but that's okay. So I do want to introduce to our community, although he's probably well known in the community, but that our new CBO, Chief Business Officer or Assistant Superintendent of Business Services, Mr. Luis de la Torre, who was formerly for over a decade, for many years at IVROP. We're very fortunate to have him here at Calexico Unified School District. I think today is his 5th day. Last week, or I think Monday, was his 3rd day, and I asked him a question, and he wasn't aware of what it was, and I told him, "What's taking you so long? You've been here 3 days already." I said, "Let's get to work." That's 3 days is long enough, but all kidding aside, it's been great, even this very short period of time, working with Luis, with Mr. de la Torre, getting to know him, and I know that he's just going to be a great part of our team and a very valuable asset to our school community. So yes, I would like to ask Mr. de la Torre if he'd like to share some brief words at the podium today. Yes.
Only if you want. Only.
Others. Okay. Well, thank you. I'll be very, very brief. I appreciate the welcoming message. I will have to say that in my short time here, I have felt very welcomed by everybody. I do thank the board. I do thank everybody on the team. The team is a great team at Calexico Unified School District. I have experience as a CBO, but I'm very humble in that I know that there's a lot of things that I need to learn. There's a lot of things that I need to learn how they're done. I need to learn why they're done that way. And then together with the team, then we'll work on looking to improve and then just have that continual improvement. So I do thank you very much. I love the energy of the dual school presentation. I echo Ms. Magallanes' sentiments regarding Ms. Nunez's presentation. I too am an immigrant to the U.S. I am too an English learner. I came to the U.S. and I started 5th grade here. But wow, so inspiring. It's just fantastic. So my commitment to the board, my commitment to the team, my commitment to the teachers, my commitment to the community, and ultimately my commitment to the students is that I will work really hard with all of you to ensure that we have fiscal responsibility and that we provide the best services to everyone within the school district and everybody else who's our external customers. So thank you. Thank you for welcoming me. I'm looking forward to the opportunity and I'm looking forward to the challenge.
Welcome.
Welcome, Mr. de la Torre. Thank you. K, action items, consideration and actual approval of the following items. 1, memorandum of understanding between Calexico Unified School District and San Diego State University in Imperial Valley for guaranteed admission to SDSU Ivy Campus.
So move. Second.
Motion by Mr. Pacheco, second by Mr. Alvarado. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Number 2, memorandum of understanding between Calexico Unified School District and California State University San Marcos for guaranteed admission to Cal State University San Marcos.
So move.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Alvarado, second by Mr. Calderon. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Number 3, memorandum of understanding between Calexico Unified School District and California State University San Marcos to allow for the sharing of confidential data between both institutions. Both institutions.
So move.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Contreras, second by Mr. Alvarado. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Number 5, memorandum of understanding between Calexico Unified School District. Oh, number 4?
4.
Did I
Four.
skip? Which one did I skip? 4?
No, you're on
You're on
four.
four.
Okay. Okay. Number 4, memorandum of understanding between Calexico Unified School District and Imperial County Office of Education for the EL Roadmap Administrator Professional Development for 2023-2024 school year.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Alvarado, second by, who was the second? Mr. Calderon. All those in favor say aye.
Aye. You got to vote too.
Aye. Okay, so we're on number 5, right?
Yes.
Number 5, memorandum of understanding between Calexico Unified School District and Rotary Club of Rancho Bernardo, Rotary Club Puruandiro, and and learning upgrade to provide learning upgrade software licenses to Calexico High School, Aurora High School, Enrique Camarena, and William Morena Junior High School.
I have a question on it.
What?
Move for approval.
I'll have second. Go ahead with the question.
Go ahead, Mr. Pacheco.
We're gonna use this during detention? Did I get that wrong? Were we gonna implement?
No, Ms.
Okay.
Ramirez, our Assistant Superintendent Services, will provide information.
Good evening. Every school has a different way in which they want to implement. And through the support of expanded learning, so I have Erica and Esmeralda who have been working with the sites. Some of them are going to do it as an enrichment after school. Other students who yes, they might have Saturday school. This is an opportunity for them to enhance their learning instead of just doing whatever it is that they're doing. So we could use it during that time. At Aurora, I believe that teachers are going to pilot even during the day, during their time. So there's different ways that we can take advantage of this program.
So this program is a self-paced program. Kids could even use it at home. They watch videos, they engage in questions and answers, and so it's a grant that's funded by the Rotary Club. We're not paying any amount of money for it, and it's being used to obviously to supplement, to do it, above and beyond than what we're already doing.
My question is, we have several sponsors in this item. We have the sponsor here in the United States and then an international sponsor in Mexico. So my question is, where's the legality, because they're gonna draw information from our kids and so forth. So where are we at? Are we okay with allowing an international sponsor to take information to Mexico and so forth?
They're not going to be sharing information. So, but
Well, it says in the contract that they will.
Yeah, that's how
interact.
that's what it looks like. But the way we're doing it is students are going to be assigned a number. Like you'll be student 1, student 2, student 3, and that's it. That's all we're gonna how they're going to be identified. The schools will know who is student 1, student 2, student 3. But when we talk to them, that's part just of their language that they have. But in talking to them, it says we really don't require any information other than you knowing who that student is, because you need to know that information. But they will not be extracting.
And we
any
had
data.
those extensive conversations because we also had the concerns, regardless of where they're from, here, there, or anywhere else. But we were just like San Diego State University as one thing, San Marcos State University. We share that information already when kids are applying to colleges or universities or whatnot. So this is a concern that we also had. And yes, that was in there, but our agreement and our only, our condition was we're going to assign not the student's ID number, but we're going to assign a number to the student. As Ms. Ramirez says, the school will know who that is, But as far as they're concerned, what they primarily wanted to know more is how many kids are participating in the program to justify their grant.
And my second question, Ms. Elisa, is that this program requires a teacher. Are they sending a teacher, or are we going to have one of our teachers monitor these programs?
So it depends on the program. So for example, if Aurora wants to do it as a pilot with a teacher, then the teacher will be monitoring.
Our
With
teachers or
Our
program's
teacher, because they're using it as a supplemental program. Through the expanded learning, we're going to do the junior high. So the junior highs will have our expanded learning staff monitoring the program. Teachers working for under expanded learning? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, this has no staff from the Rotary Club. They don't have teachers
Well-
to, you know.
Well, I was reading the
Yeah.
contract, and it requires a teacher that's gonna be overseeing the first week or month, or
Yeah.
how long it takes to implement the program, but there is supposed to be a teacher in charge of that. That's what I was asking.
No, it'll be our own staff. It will be our own staff, but working through the expanded learning or during the regular class time as a supplemental program.
Okay, and my last question, where has this been implemented before?
I think right now they're using it, was it Brawley? I know they've been working with other districts here locally, because what intention of the grant originally was to support migrant education. But at the end of the day, they say, you know what, let's just open it to any student who wants to use it. It's funded by the grant. All they have to show is that it is being used, and without having to identify students. And so that's I think we're the second or third district. It might be El Centro, but I know that others are already implementing it.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Ramirez. So we have a motion by Mr. Contreras, second by Mr. Alvarado. All those in favor say aye.
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 I'm voting no.
So it's
We have one no.
no for
Yeah.
Mr. Calderon and a yay
4
for
Four, yeah, 4-1.
4-1. Number 6, agreement between Calexico Unified School District and Nearpod Inc. for school-wide license for standards-aligned formative assessment for Jefferson Elementary
So moved.
teachers.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Alvarado, second by Mr. Calderon. All those in favor say aye.
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 7, agreement between Calexico Unified School District and Imperial County Office of Education for the Art of Coaching Professional Development for the 2023-2024 school year.
So moved.
Second with the question.
Motion by Mr. Calderon, second by Mr. Contreras. Question from Mr.
Yeah.
Pacheco.
We're having more training, and we've got five full days of 6 hours each. So, are these going to be on Saturdays or?
No, and one of the things that we're doing, that we're changing, Mr. Pacheco, is that we used to send a lot of teachers to professional development elsewhere, San Diego, to other places, and we're for a variety of different reasons, we're cutting back on that, and now we're trying to bring those trainings to here, to either to the valley, or to the school district right here. So this is you do see a lot of training, but it's not everybody across the board. This is not all the teachers, all the grade levels across district wide. Some of them are for very school specific, whether it's part of the California Reading Literacy Project or a different project or program that this school is using or that school. So this one specifically, do we know, Elisa? It's specifically. But I know you might see on the agenda professional development, but it's not across the board. It's not for everybody. Yeah.
So yes, this is not for classroom teachers. This is for our literacy coaches. It is for academic support coaches, our AVID coach. It's anybody who is providing professional development for our teachers within our school district.
Call the question.
Thank you, Mrs. Ramirez. So we had a motion by Mr. Alvarado, second
No.
by Mr.
Oh,
So that was me.
Motion by Mr. Calderon, second by Mr. Contreras. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Number 8, agreement between Calexico Unified School District and VIX Air Conditioning and Electrical to relocate the existing return airflow vent at Calexico High School Discipline Office.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Contreras, second by Mr. Pacheco. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Number 9, agreement renewal between Calexico Unified School District and Medic First for Professional Services, CPR training, AED, and First Aid certification for the Calexico High School CTE program.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Calderon, second by Mr. Alvarado. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Number 10, agreement renewal between Calexico Unified School District and the Prudential Insurance Company of America for business trouble accident coverage.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Alvarado, second by Mr. Pacheco. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Number 11, First Amendment Agreement between Calexico Unified School District and CL Consulting, Inc. to amend the contract for the adjustment of the fee authorization to continue state funding application submissions for 2023-2024.
So move.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Contreras, second by Mr. Pacheco. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Number 12, first reading of Board Policy Administrative Regulation and Exhibit 1312.2 complaints concerning instructional materials.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Alvarado, second by Mr. Contreras. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Number 13, second reading of revised Board Policy 5145.3 non-discrimination harassment.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Alvarado, second by Mr. Contreras. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Number 14, second reading of revised Board Policy and Administrative Regulation 6143 course of study.
So moved.
Second it.
Motion by Mr. Contreras, second by Mr.
Backwards.
No, motion by Mr.
Calderon.
Calderon, second by Mr. Contreras. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
I have a
Aye.
question. For the grades, 7 through 12, courses of study for grades 7, 12 shall include the following. And then I go down to number 3, world languages, understanding, speaking, reading, writing, beginning no later than the 7th grade. What world language are we introducing in the 7th grade?
We have plans, Mr. Pacheco, but for example, you heard today that we're looking at Spanish. We're going to start, our plans are to start next year with the dual language bilingual English-Spanish program. These updates are to keep in alignment with GAMET, which is the CSBA updates to board policies and administrative regulations. So as with a lot of board policies, we may or may not be doing specifically that, but if we do, we have a board policy to cover that. So no, while we're not looking at right now French or Mandarin or German or Portuguese or another language right now, world languages and bilingualism is something that's very near and dear to me. It's something I've been working for a very, very long time. I've seen the benefits to students, to families, to the communities when folks of any race, ethnicity, nationality are able to speak more than one language and communicate in more than one language. But world languages is something that we do want to look at the future in addition to Spanish, looking at French, looking at Mandarin, looking at German, looking at some of these other questions. So for right now, it's updating the board policy, but sometime in the future, we are looking at a language academy, for example, where our kids have the opportunity of learning multiple languages. But that's
Down the road.
That's down the road. Yeah.
Another one is number 7, visual and performing arts, dance, music, theater, visual arts, to appreciate creative expression. And are we going to develop art in the 7th, 8th, 9th grades?
Absolutely. The
The money's there. There's money that's been
Yeah.
allocated already
Yeah.
from this state for
Right.
for art.
Yeah, and then the money is it's not as much as what originally was promised or said, but there is some money there. In a lot of cases, it's not enough to hire an FTE, a full-time equivalency, but there is some money there to do something with the arts. But I would even say that not wait till 7th grade, but we should have the visual and performing arts, the different forms of artistic creative expression, in the elementary schools. We do, for example, through music. Our elementary schools, we start our music program, instrumental music, in elementary school and straight through junior high and high school. So that's the arts is something that we should definitely look at.
We need to expand that because
expanding
just
that,
band is not gonna really
doesn't cover. We need to spread the.
It's not covering
all the kids. Yeah.
the performing arts.
Yeah.
That's all. Those two areas, the world language and performing arts.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Jimenez. So there was a motion by Mr. Calderon, second by Mr. Contreras. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Number 15, second, second reading of revised board policy 6163.1, library media centers.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Contreras, second by Mr. Alvarado. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Number 16, approval of change order number 1 to the agreement with Oakview Constructors, Inc. to expedite the purchase and ordering of the electrical switchboard for the A4 modular building at Calexico High School.
So moved.
Second.
Motion.
You have a
Question, Mr. Pacheco?
Yeah. Why? First changeover. Why was the reasoning for this one?
Yeah, that
No,
that
no.
was
We
my
have to
question.
order. I know it takes a long time to get it, but
Right.
did we have somebody already aligned? Somebody already?
No. So what happened that the ordering, and we had a big meeting with all of our construction with Oakview, with Silver Creek, with Balfour Beatty. One of the challenges that the construction industry is still having to this very day is a back order on switch gears. Switch gears are the main hub that controls all the electricity going to a building. We're kind of like our predicament is that ESSER 3 funds need to be expended by September 30 of 2024. The normal timeline for a switch gear purchase and ordering and delivery is a minimum of a year, and if not more than a year. If we were to stick to that normal timeline, we would be looking at getting the switch gear not in until December, January, possibly even February, March, right, of 2025 or the end of this year. But remember, we have to be finished and spent the money by September 30th because this is ESSER 3 funds. So I mentioned this to the board at our last meeting that this was almost like a necessary thing we have to do, because also the other thing that would have cost us also additional money is by September 30th, the whole building is going to be done. That's our timeline that we're sticking to, and that's our expectation, and that's what we're diligently and our construction contractors are working on. If they're finished, the switchgear box hasn't arrived, and we send everybody home, right? And then we call them back 2, 3, 4 months later and say, oh, the switchgear's here, come back and work on it. Well, that's going to be, an additional cost, an additional contract and stuff like that, because now you have to bring people who are already here working every day. They go to do other projects and do other contracts, and then we have to pull them back and find time for them to come back here. So this is critical to open the building. Without the switchgear, we cannot open the building. So that's why we want to expedite it, get it here prior to September 30th, so it could be installed and ready to go.
Thank you, Mr. Jimenez.
Time is of essence.
Time is of essence, yes.
So we have a motion by Mr. Calderon, second by Mr. Contreras. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Number 17, adoption of new job description, child welfare and attendance specialist and pool operator skilled maintenance.
So moved.
I second, but I have a question in regards to the child welfare and attendance specialist. Where is this position going to be located?
So right now, this is just a job description. We haven't made we haven't finalized whether or not we're going. And at one point, actually a couple years ago, there was an outcap priority of hiring CWAs, and there was actually it was presented at one point that we were going to hire approximately like 7 CWAs or not. Some of that early ESSER 1, ESSER 2 money has already expired, as I just expressed. ESSER 3 money is expiring this calendar year at the beginning of next school year. So for this right here, it's only the job description. We're not approving a position or hiring a person, but eventually when if we were to hire a person for this position, it would be centrally located. It would be like a district position that we would assign to as needed to, you know, follow up on attendance, follow up on student absenteeisms and whatnot. But it would be a district centrally located position. The position itself would probably be physically housed at the FRC as where they go to work in the morning, they leave, but it would be a district-based position.
And this also has to do with the SARB, correct? Delivering the SARB
Yes.
letters,
Yes.
everything. as far
All
as that goes.
A2A, SARB, site visits,
that's
home.
part of the duties.
Yeah, home visits, visiting homes, knocking on doors. Just your child's been out for 3 days. You haven't called it in. We haven't heard from you. All that sort of stuff.
There's no credential for this?
There is.
Is there a specific credential for this? Because we're just asking for BA or somebody with the PPS.
Well, the PPS is like the credential, the Pupil Support Services credential. So that's like a social work type of a counseling credential.
Yeah, after that, you move into the family and medical licensing for therapists.
Mhm.
You know, so that's the
I think
that's
the
that's where you
question
can practice on.
Is there a credential for child welfare and attendance?
No, not specifically.
No.
There's no credential that says this is a CWA credential. Sometimes there could be a classified position, it could be a certificated position, it could be a management position. But, you know, sometimes when you're dealing with some very serious issues, you might be dealing with domestic violence, you might be dealing with a teen pregnancy, you might be dealing with the death of a family member. We wanted to get somebody with the PPS credential who would be better equipped and trained on you know, sometimes you go and say, why hasn't your child been at school for the past 2 weeks? And you find out that there's some pretty serious, you know, trauma going on in that household, or something happened, drug use, coordination of services, perhaps with, you know, other Imperial Valley, you know, mental health or behavioral health or law enforcement. So that's why we went with the PPS credential. So it would be somebody that's trained and better equipped to handle if those were the types of situations that come up.
Any more questions? Thank you, Mr. Jimenez. So we have a motion by Mr. Alvarado, second by Mr. Calderon. I was going to say your first name. Yeah, Mr. Calderon. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Number 18, resolution regarding disposition of surplus asset, non-asset technology equipment at the district office.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Calderon, second by Mr. Alvarado. Alvarado?
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Mr. Calderon. Mr. Pacheco.
Yes.
Mr. Contreras.
Yes.
Myself, yes. Number 19, resolution regarding disposition of surplus asset, non-asset technology equipment at Rockwood Elementary.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Mr. Alvarado, second by Mr. Calderon. Mr. Alvarado?
Yes.
Mr. Calderon?
Yes.
Mr. Pacheco?
Yes.
Mr. Contreras?
Yes.
Myself, yes. L, reconvenience to closed session?
Time
Yeah, we're gonna go
Okay.
back to closed session.
to what?
So move.
Good night, everyone.
To 9:30.
9:30.
Yeah, 9:30.
Buffalo Bills. Your Cowboys.